Alright guys, so we're going to start with the first part of the build. And to get started, I've flipped to page 5 in the manual. You'll see at the bottom, page 5. Probably hard to see in here. So you're going to want to go to page 5. This is what we're going to be referencing to, and that's the first block. And in this part, we're going to be showing you how to put the grips together, grease the thrust bearings, and so what you're going to want to do is first start by going in the main rotor head set box and opening that up. At probably the very bottom, the main head assembly should be placed in a bag. 700 FLH. You're going to want to get that out, unwrap that. It's going to have some bubble wrap around it. The whole head's going to be loosely put together. Take the head assembly out and take it all apart like this so that you can get all the bolts, clean it up, and get some acetone and use a paper towel, dip the screws in either some alcohol or acetone, and get all that oil from the machining off the bolts. I did that on the spindle. I just dip it in the acetone and kind of stick that paper towel in there and clean out those threads, clean out the spindle bolt threads, and get all that oil that's unnecessary that can cause the Loctite. And you're going to need blue Loctite for this build, for this part. If any oil is on the screws, it will prevent the Loctite from actually doing its job, which is holding the bolts together from vibration so that they don't come loose. So the first thing you're going to want to do is we're going to start with the first grip. And I'll move this little piece of paper out of the way. You're going to actually want to first go in this bag, which is 700 or 700 ELZ, and go in here and grab this little bag right here, which is 50 HZ006, and you're going to want to go there and grab the grease. So we're going to have our tube of grease and our tube of thread locker. This blue Loctite, they give you a little bit, but not enough to actually complete the build. So we're going to use our own. And the first thing that you're going to want to do is take your grip and clean those screws off, and you'll see a lot of black oil and stuff that you can get off. So we're going to first take our screwdriver, and that's going to be a 2.5 millimeter hex driver, and we're going to take our Loctite. And another little key tip when you're using the Loctite, if you take a little sewing needle and poke it in there, it keeps it from just squirting out, flowing out. So we're going to put some on there, just like so, and just rub it evenly in the thread so it just coats inside. And then you're going to take that bolt, put it in the grip arm, and then take the grip and just tighten that down, and just make sure that those slots evenly line up. Loosely put that together. Don't torque it till you have both of them in, just to avoid damage to anything. Same thing, a little bit of Loctite. Use your finger, spread it in the threads. Don't goop it in. Same thing, just tighten it down till it stops. And then a little twist, and that's the first grip. Then we'll do the second grip, same exact procedure. You're going to take your 2.5 millimeter hex driver, a little bit of thread locker, blue thread locker, smear that thread locker in there, put the bolt in, align it in the grip, and just tighten that down, just till it stops. Take the other bolt and do the same. Then what you're going to want to do is, just like the other one, once this one stops, Just give it a little snug. You don't want to strip out the aluminum, but just enough to have some tightness on it. And now they're both done. Don't crank it down too tight, but just till it's snug. And now that one's done. So now we have both grips with the arms on. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is we're going to start wanting to assemble these thrust bearings. So what you're going to want to do to make this a lot easier, we're going to first cap our Loctite and put that to the side. You're going to want to take your grease that they give you, and you're just going to want to fill these races with the grease. And it's the cup side that you want to put the grease in. So you're going to want to fill that up just like so. And this one's not open, or it is open. There we go. So then we're just going to spread that in. It's a nice little thin bead. Seems like they give you some on there already, but it's always a good thing to double check. And then do the same. Then there's a little cup side. You want to put the grease in the cup. A nice little even coating around it. And do the same thing with the cup side on this. And then you're good. And then you're going to want to, I'm going to show you on this. It's hard to see, but there's a little like laser etched, or however they do it, but it says in. One of these washers say in, and one of these cupped washers say out. And it's got the little rounded race in there. And the out is going to stick on the outside. And I've got the bearings assembled. So this would be from the inside to the outside. So this right here, this one's going to be your inside, right here. And this one's going to be your cupped side. And the cupped side, where it's cupped, is always going to face towards the inside to hold the grease from pulling out. And then this one, it should be, right here, should be engraved with out. So when you put that last cupped washer on, you should see the out engraving in it. Then you got your little washer that's going to go in between, and then your bearing. And just grease that little guy up so that's all good. So what you're going to want to do to make this a lot easier is if you take your spindle, and we're going to assemble it from the beginning to the end. So we're going to take our bearing right here. First, slide on your bearing. Doesn't matter which way. There's no incorrect way to do it. And take your washer, and like this, there's also no incorrect way of doing it. There's a flat side right here, and then the rounded side. I like the rounded side facing the outside. So we're going to put that in just like that. And then you see there's a cup side on this one. If you flip it over, it says out. The out symbol you want to have facing the outside towards the bolt. So you're going to slide that on, the cup side facing that side. And then you're going to want to take your little race right here. You see the cup side, that's going to be facing that side. And then the side that just has the little tips of the balls, it's going to be facing towards the end. You're just going to slide that on like so. And then you're going to take this one right here with the race. And you got your little cup side that's going to be facing towards the inside. That little race is what's going to touch those balls, the curved indented side. And then if you look at that, it should say a little laser etched thing says in, and the in's going to be facing that way, towards the inside of the grip. You're going to slide that on, just like so. And now you're all good. So then what you're next going to want to do, for ease, is just take your spindle and slide it in the grip, and have that little bolt on there so that they don't slide off the end. And just slip it on in, and just pull it so that they snug. And then you can just push the spindle back out, make sure that they don't slide back out, and now your first grip is complete. And then we're going to do the exact same thing to the other side, so I'm going to go through this a little bit quicker. But the first thing you're going to want to do is grease the cup side. Just get a nice thin bead in there, even coating. And then the race and the cup side, you're going to want to put a nice even coating of grease in that as well. And put some more on the inner race. And I'm going to put these little guys to the side because those are the middle washers that go on the inside of these in front of the grip. So then the next thing is, just like before, take your bearing, just slide it on your feathering shaft. Take your washer from the end right here, and like I said, I like the flat side facing towards the inside, and the rounded side of the washer facing towards the bolt. So slide that on, and then you're going to look right here on the washer. It says out. You want the out facing towards the bolt. So when you slide this on, just like so, the indented cupped side is going to be facing towards the inside of the grip when we put it on. And if you're looking from the back, you would see out. Then the next thing is we're going to take our race that we just greased, and the cup side is a little cup side, and that's going to be facing inside. So we put it on there. The cup side is going to be facing that way. And then we're going to take the in. If we look at this washer, it's going to say in, laser engraved. And we're going to pop that on. And if you slide it on, that's going to be facing the inside of the main grip. And if you look at it from the top of the spindle, you're going to be able to see in. So then we're going to take our spindle, or our main grip, slide our spindle in there. Just give it a little pull so that it seats the bearings, and you just nicely slide that back out. And if the bearing like this one is trying to come out, just hold it with your thumb so it doesn't fall out. And there you go. There's the first part on how to put together the main grips, and make sure to go to the next part of the video, which is going to show you how to finish the head assembly. And thank you for watching this first part of the video. Make sure to watch the second part and subscribe, and thanks for watching this first part.